What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of StreamKey. I'm your host, Bella_TV. Sorry, somebody said something super funny and not stream appropriate. It wasn't me at all.
He's got his fancy book of fancy swears over there.
I do. It's called creative cursing. All right, dude. Fucking
creative cursing.
Rep. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to another episode of StreamKey, everybody. I'm Belloc_TV as always. We have two amazing guests that are here quite often. We got Dogg Gaming. What's going on, man?
How you doing? Thanks for having me on again.
Always, dude. Love having you.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And we got Mr. Pure Instinct, my dude. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back again.
He's back. And then we got Sadomi, the best co-host in the business.
Bark, 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 bark. What's up? It's the homie Sadomi. We about to go on StreamKey, and I'm going to stop right there.
Nailed it. Perfect.
This is going to be one heck of an episode, folks.
Got my team. I'm good, baby.
Yeah, we're good. So we got a few topics. Not very much news over the last week, which is crazy with the amount of like streams that are going on, the amount of people that are streaming now compared to normal. It's mostly like the only real like news that I found was stuff about the it was called, what was it called? The Stream Aid 2020, I think, is a charity stream that Twitch did with a bunch of celebrities in order to raise awareness for COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. They actually raised $2.7 million, which is awesome. Like, it's so cool. And there are so many celebrities there, like from multiple things. Like, there was football players, there was country music stars, there was pop singers, everything. And obviously it was awesome if they raised $2.7 million. So it's cool. I mean, obviously you're getting a bigger audience probably from people who don't even know what Twitch is. I mean, with somebody like Garth Brooks streaming on Twitch for this, like, you know, he doesn't know what's going on. And you know for a fact most of his fans don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? But like, it's still cool. Like, you're opening it up to more people, and especially right now, I think it's needed more than ever. But yeah, so that was like the real big thing that happened. Another topic we have is Twitch channel pages allow you to customize your profile, accent color, add a channel trailer, and I think that's really it. I don't know if you guys saw anything more about the channel page.
So the thing about the channel page is that it's actually something that's really good for Twitch broadcast, because right now, if you go to your page while you're offline, it's just the one image and then just kind of what's there. It's kind of, it's very few people have a really true snapshot of what their stream is with just that image. It was just like a schedule or just like a pretty image, and then no one goes down to the panels. No one goes down there. So having a channel trailer, having like that, it's a nice little snapshot. So if you're not live, you could have that there. You have your VODs that you want listed, your highlights, all on the one same page. You don't have to click off. And the real trick is that it's more than one. It's one click. The less clicks you can have, the more likely someone will go through things. So that's really big, really good. I want to see the numbers of how this affects people who really put time to implement it. But I will say, if you want to improve your stream at all, get any more extra traffic, it makes a lot more sense to if you're offline. Like, if you're not streaming 24/7, which no one should be, definitely have your channel page like on point. Get it looking nicely, looking pretty, presentable, and then let me know what happens in 2 months.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first impressions are huge, and you're right. Most people don't really go to panels. I think most of the people that look at panels are streamers. You know what I mean? I feel like we just want to see how other people are doing them, just so we can make sure our stuff looks as clean as other people's. But in reality, viewers don't really go check that out too much. Like, you'll get, like, if you can even put like answers to most questions that viewers will have down there, and they'll still just ask you in the chat, which there's nothing wrong with that. It just shows that nobody's going down there to look.
Yeah. I also like that they've included a little section where you can put your about in, and it's a lot easier to see. Again, most people include that in panels, but it's not getting seen. I don't know how many times I've had to say, check, just scroll down, you know, and have a little read. But what that also does in that little section is it gives you the ability to put your links in as well, and it's very clean, and it puts the logos up, so it's your Twitter link, it's the Twitter logo, so forth, and it's really nice. It puts everything in such a easily accessible, and it looks really, really quality. Do you know what I mean? So it's a real welcome change, and channel trailers as well. It gives people a chance to show their creativity beyond just being on stream. So yeah, I mean, for example, someone like MPI, who's obviously got a lot of knowledge in video editing and stuff, and this is the kind of place where he can really sort of like let loose and show, here, this is what else I do. So I think it's fantastic.
Have you guys put any thought to like what you're gonna put in yours yet?
Yeah.
Because I've seen a few people talking about different things. Some people are saying like, I just want to put in like my favorite clips, and then other people are kind of making it like a YouTube channel intro where they're just like, hey guys, this is my channel, this is what I'm about, you can watch this here. And I'm just wondering, like, I want to see kind of like the ratio between those of how many people are just like throw some clips together versus actually explaining who they are or something, or like a mix of the two.
Right.
Well, I was thinking of maybe having multiple ones that I could have on rotation, depending on maybe what I'm doing at the time. If I'm playing a game more often than others, perhaps have one that's specifically for that game, and that goes up in the time that I'm playing. That game or such. So I've actually had quite a few thoughts as to whether exactly what you're saying, how to put it together. But I'm thinking, I'm probably, because I just can't decide. I'm going to have multiple then.
I can't.
Do you know how long the video can be?
A minute for affiliates.
Seconds.
I think it's 2 minutes for partners.
Jeez, that's not much time at all.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, though, that's like enough time because most people's attention spans don't even go that long anyway.
Yep.
Like how
if you can make it entertaining enough, you know what I mean?
The other thing too to think about is that's how long an Instagram video can be. It cannot be like 60.02 seconds, or Instagram will kick it out. I've tried. Right. So if you make videos for like Instagram, you're used to this already. You know the length that you can do. The only difference is going to be your sequence formatting. It's not going to be square by square. It's going to be, a normal video.
Right.
And I think that's the thing. We've got to get the idea that it's actually a trailer, an advert, rather than a YouTube video or a highlight video or something like that. So it is going to be truncated and be meant to be more punchy, rather than something that maybe it's the joke. It takes 30 seconds or whatever in a clip, but instead it's not really about that, is it?
Right.
Kind of what I'm thinking right now is like, because you only have 60 seconds. Like maybe like a super over the top edited montage of like both good clips and funny clips. You know what I mean? At least for me, because like that's kind of like what I like to do is I like to kind of be good at games sometimes, and I also like to be funny. So just over the top, like super edited, like punch you right in the face, like you were saying, just like blasting content at your face for a whole minute, so you can kind of get a scope of like what my channel is about.
And I think too, like that, like you just said at the end of that, what your channel's about is exactly what these need to be. Like, don't feel like you have to do a clip compilation or an introduction, like just talking head to the camera. If that's not what you're about. If your channel is super high energy like that, that's perfect, man. That's exactly what you should make.
Right. It'll be.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you go ahead.
I like how
Dogg
said too, like have rotating ones. One thing that this could be good for too is if you do a lot of events. So if you do like a lot of charity streams, or you do a lot of like big 12-hour streams for certain reasons, you could do a long video of, hey guys, like this is what we're doing this month, this is what we're raising money for, so on and so forth, and do that for each event.
Yeah,
it'll be really cool to see how people are doing this, because obviously it's going to be different for each person depending on like how much they really want to put into this, and how aware of their own channels they are. You know what I mean? So like for someone like myself who's going to make it more high energy, like that'll be cool to see. And then I don't know like what you guys plan on doing, but there will definitely be people who are just sitting there talking to the camera, because if they're just like a just chatting streamer or something like that, then that's probably what their trailer is going to be, because you just want to show off what your channel is all about. So if you're a just chatting streamer, you're probably just going to do a video where you're just talking and introducing yourself, letting people know like what they can get in your channel. It'll be really, really interesting to see, and it's cool because it's kind of like a different way for people to kind of get to know you without, the social media or without having to be live. It's gonna be very different than the content that you're already making on other platforms.
I think too it'll be good for if you're reaching out to companies to work with you, because I've seen so many times on Twitter where like community managers or content managers and things will tweet, "This is the 15th time I've tweeted this year, guys. Turn on your VODs. Have your email and your Twitter account.
Yep.
Make it easy for me to get in contact with you and to see what you're about." So if you have this that can play all the time and you don't have to worry about, oh, my VOD goes away in 14 days, then you always have something to show. So if you're not wanting to make one of these and you're putting it off, I think you should still do it, because I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like, I don't want that on my page.
Right. And this would be cool too, because like, even though you do have VODs up, you might have had like a bad stream recently, which could turn off somebody who wants to come in and maybe potentially look into having you as a sponsor or whatever it is. But if you have something that you think is really, really well done for a trailer, that could, be the main focus, and they might brush off that, not so great stream that you had recently. If you show off like the things that you can do.
Yes. To touch on what MPI was saying, anybody that's serious about streaming and is saying they don't want a channel trailer is shooting themselves in the foot.
Oh, for sure.
This is a tool that is going to be used by people to progress their own channel, and if you are serious about streaming and serious about getting numbers and moving on, then all you're doing is standing still while they're moving forward. So really, if that's in your head, you really need to rethink that idea. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. I just know there's always people that resist change, especially on Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Like the channels trailer, like this whole channels page thing is something that if Twitch implemented a year ago, 2 years ago, I'd say, we'd see a whole different level of different like creators.
Oh, for sure.
Because having the thing about streams is you can't, no matter how well you stream, how good your stream is, you cannot get a full picture of your stream in 10 seconds. When you're browsing the browse directory, you can't really get that unless you have like a thumbnail up on your stream and it's voice only, and then it's kind of like you're missing on the video aspect of it. So you really have to just have something on Twitch that tells you what it is. Twitch right now, or before channel pages were introduced, essentially is just a store with no storefront. This now adds a storefront to your store. That's kind of the analogy I'll use. Maybe not the best one for it, but
well, kind of
essentially you have something front facing.
Think about it like anything else like this. Like YouTube, you always have videos playing. If you're a photographer, people go to your website, your photos are there. It's not just like a blank page until you're there to put photos up for them. It's always there. There's something happening all the time. And it's the same idea as like making static content, or like people who make pre-made graphics and sell them for cheap. You're making money in the background there. This is going to help you grow while you're not doing anything. You could be sitting on the couch scrolling through Twitter watching Netflix, and one person's going to come through that you sent an application to and go, yeah, I like this. I dig this. I can see this channel trailer. They're not live right now, but I know what they're about. Yeah, you're hired, sponsored, whatever. It's
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I mean, it's work. It's work that you do one time and it just works for you constantly. It keeps going, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very important.
And I wonder if this is the start of us seeing more static content on Twitter.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is, are you going to see more videos that you can just play that are more, like YouTube style content?
I don't know, because they tried that before and it just like people forgot about it after like a week.
I think what happened is their delivery. Okay, sorry. So I thought what happened is their delivery of that entire system, of the whole VODs on Twitch system, was atrocious. Because again, the less clicks, the better. So having a channel homepage, you click twitch.tv/TRUgaming, you'll see every episode of StreamKey right down there, the True Fam show, True Partner show, all down there. And then at the top, you'll have TRUgaming trailer, tells you, hey, who we are, what we do, and you have everything right then and there. You're more likely to click something if it's right there in your face versus clicking a text button to go to videos, which, let's be honest, if there's pretty things on the screen, I don't expect anyone to click on the boring, white letters.
Right. Yeah, with them making like a channel trailer or something like they're doing, it's going to be like, obviously it's something very important for growing your own channel. I think that will allow people to make more edited videos for their channel that they can put on Twitch that aren't the live content that we're used to seeing on Twitch, because they definitely tried pretty horribly with the Twitch Premiere thing that they did. Yeah. But with this making it so important to have a good solid edited video for your channel, it could definitely, like, I don't see why they wouldn't try to do something what YouTube has, because making somebody go to another platform in order to be discovered is, and we've all talked about this multiple times, it's just a garbage way to do anything. So obviously if they were to implement videos like this, they'd have to start doing another thing that we've talked about, which is a search algorithm. It would have to be there. It would have to. But I think this is a good foot in the door to start going down that path.
So have you guys messed with it anymore though? Any other features on it so far?
Not really.
Okay. The schedule, I use the schedule planner thing where
I love how you say that.
Plan everything in your week ahead. I really like the idea of it. It's going to say you can break your stream up to show if you're playing multiple games or doing multiple things throughout the stream when those things are going to happen. Again, this is really going to help people that are doing events and stuff like that are doing charity stuff, because you're really going to be able to show, here it is, all broken down. It's right here on your Twitch channel as to how we're going to play. I like it. I like the schedule. It helps as well for me. It helps me to know that what's coming up and what I am going to be doing and planning on doing as well. So yeah, I think that's another good addition.
Yeah, very cool stuff. I can't wait to see where things go with it, and I can't wait to see your guys' videos and like where like partners go with it and everything, because those are going to be the really impressive ones, because they obviously have the money to make something really, really impressive. So with them setting the standard, it'll be cool.
And I think now too, if you are a video editor, is the time to like put your work in to yours before it even goes live. Have it done and put it up on your YouTube channel, your Twitter, whatever you want, to showcase that work, and then be like, yo guys, do you need them made too? Just saying, I did this one. You throw me some money, you can hire me and I will do this for you, because not everyone has those skills. The same thing with all of your emotes. Not everyone makes their own emotes or their own graphics. Video is no different.
Right. I totally agree. If you have the ability to video, it's definitely time to glue yourself to your chair and really hunker down on making yourself a solid, minute-long video. Very important.
By the way, Veli, Dogg, do you guys know of any video editors who may be on this podcast at all who may help me with my channel video?
No, I have no idea. MPI, do you know of any?
No. Yeah, don't hire that guy. No, I mean, I do video editing, so yeah, obviously, let me know if you guys need them done.
There you go.
I haven't made mine yet because I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Because that's the hard part about being like an editor and stuff, is I'm like, I can do anything. I have so many ideas. I'm like, oh god, I have 60 seconds. Let's make an idea. But I think I might try to do some rotating ones, kind of like Dogg said. I really like that idea a lot.
Yeah, especially with as important as it is, because it's not like it's like a tweet or anything. It's something something that stays up there and people are going to see it.
Yeah. And I think well, and I mean, starting out, what can be a good one is just hey, this is a new thing. The channel trailers are new, and I just wanted to do a quick, easy one as an introduction to who I am as a streamer, what I'm going to do. And then as time goes on, if you want to rotate clips and different things up there, you can. So that way, you scale with it as it grows too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be very, very cool.
Yeah. So I was exploring with the channel pages too, and there's an about section where you can put links and like kind of a small paragraph about yourself too. I tried putting in my YouTube and it wouldn't let me.
It worked for me.
Oh, it worked for me.
All
that say, oh, really? Was it just,
all I did is I went to my specific channel and like as a subscriber basically, and you just put in that direct link there.
Did you just try to type in like youtube.com/Sadomi?
Yes, it worked when I did it through a bit.ly or like a different like link, but it doesn't work for a direct YouTube link.
Okay.
Which, makes sense when you think about it.
Have you got a user link for YouTube, though, in there? Because you have to have a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube to get a specific user link for your channel, don't you?
Yeah, it's 100.
It's 100.
Is
Then
it right?
you get the custom URL.
Right.
And I think after that, it's like 4,000 for monetization or something like that.
Right. So I think since you do have a YouTube link accessible on your homepage or on your channel page now, it's even more important for people to start utilizing YouTube because if they can just click on your channel that easily instead of having to figure out somehow that you have a YouTube channel or, because right now the only real reason that people would know from your Twitch channel if you have a YouTube is if you talk about it all the time. You really need to to drive it into people to let them know. But having it right there, they can just go easily check it out and not even know anything about it. Just go click on that link and just see that you have all this content right there. And the more content you have that they don't even know about, the better.
I do a timed message in my chat. Just like I would with anything else, and it's just a link to whatever the most current uploaded video is. It's just a simple thing of hey, you can see the newest YouTube video I uploaded right here, and then people can click on it in chat and be able to. And it just one more way to kind of remind myself, oh yeah, I do have a YouTube channel. I should tell them that. Hey guys, I have a YouTube channel.
I should probably talk about that. But yeah, it's important, and it's gonna be cool to see where this goes in the future for sure. So Twitch just implemented a new ban system, which is amazing. It's we've been waiting for this for so long, and it's finally here. And at probably the best time, because I'm assuming trolls are at an all-time high because none of them are in school.
Yeah.
Little nerds. But basically what's going on is banned users will no longer be able to make alt accounts to continue trolling in your channel. As soon as they're banned, they get a shadow IP ban. So their alt accounts will never be able to talk in your channel or anything. They won't be able to see the chat. They won't be able to follow. They won't be able to host, whisper, or purchase gifted subs in the channels that they're banned from. And also, if they're already following and you ban that IP or that person, obviously their IP gets banned and they get removed from your follower list. So say you get, I think it was Play with Jambo got a huge bot follow from Dong Awareness or something like that by 800 accounts. Right. Yeah. So it's 800 accounts. And so if obviously this person is banned, so those 800 accounts are not going to be counting towards their follower count anymore, which is amazing. So this will help with follow bots and everything. The one metric I care about, lol. But yeah. So I know we've all been waiting for something like this because it's so annoying having trolls just continue to return with more accounts. And obviously after a while they get bored anyway, but it's just cool that Twitch is finally doing this. So I don't know if you guys have anything more on this topic at all.
Yeah, this is way too. I mean, I'm glad it's here, but Jesus Christ, can you go any faster?
Dude, this is how it should have been from the start.
Yeah, 2017, I had so many bad knee jokes. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
and at this
crazy.
I mean, yeah, glad it's here now, but come on.
Especially when you consider that, let's be honest, it's a simple IP ban that they put in place. That's quite a simple system for them to actually put in place, right? I mean, there are ways around it, but, it just means that, little Timmy's going to have to explain to his mum and dad why their internet's getting reset 15 times a day.
Yep.
So you know what? It's very welcome. But as Sadomi said, this is kind of basic stuff. This is what the kind of basic that you expect from any game or anything that you play. This is the kind of stuff you expect. You know what I mean? So while it's welcome, again, it's just that thing where Twitch is so slow to roll.
Very, very. I mean, it makes sense though because it is a very large company, and we have heard of Twitch employees not necessarily talking to each other that often. The amount of communication that goes on between departments is obviously very minimal. We've heard a lot about that, and you can obviously speculate to that as well. But I'm just glad that it's here finally because man, it's going to help us out so much, for everybody across the board. It's just I can't see anybody not liking this aside from the trolls themselves.
Did any ever look to see how many followers you lost?
No, actually.
No. I did witness a banning though, and it was adorable. Because I went to one of my friends' chat, okay, and mind you, she's a woman, so you already know it's gonna be bad. So Dudes is just sitting there, just typing away. And she's like, you know what? Let's test the ban system. Ban. Dude's like, I'll make another account, then I'm gonna come back. She's like, no, you're not. Did you not read the new rules? Ban. You know what happened? We didn't see that dude again. And it was great.
Awesome.
And it was lovely.
That's great.
Yep. I'm so excited to just totally shun people out of my chat for forever.
Right?
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Straight to the shadow realm.
Be gone, thought.
I wonder if they'll ever implement in like 5 or 6 years if you can like IP ban someone and you can't watch their stream. You know, I give that like 10. I give it 10 years. I think 2030 we'll see that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I much would prefer that they didn't do that. See, I love the idea. One of the things I love doing when these people come in is banning them, right? You know, and knowing that they're still watching, so you just roast them to a cinder. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're helping you, honestly.
Because exactly, they give me content. As far as I'm concerned, my chat get a laugh from it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, I know at the same time that they're sitting there like, you know, getting worked up, wishing they can come back. So
Hell yeah.
Personally, I hope they don't do that. I hope they can still see me roasting us.
Valid point. Maybe they can make it so that you can decide whether or not they still see your channel. You know what I mean?
That's too much work. Just kill them. Just kill them.
With fire.
Just kick them off the cliffs. This is Sparta, mother. Just kick them.
Oh my god. So next topic. But so we don't really have any more news. So what we did is we went back and grabbed a bunch of old questions from like way far back episodes, questions that pertain to, you know, streamers and, you know, being a new streamer and needing any help with some certain questions. So chat, if you guys have any more questions that we haven't gotten to yet or that you just have for us, make sure to @ myself and TRUgaming in the chat, and we'll get that answer for you live on the show. You can also call in. Let me put in the little dealio. I think that's the right command. That is not the right command. Calls, maybe? There it is. We got it. I know what I'm doing. But yeah, you can come in and ask us questions on the show, and you'll get priority over anybody else who asks questions in the chat. So with the first question we have, this is from Meemaw, the Geeky Granny. Awesome TRUgaming community member and partnered streamer. She says, suggestions for working through a viewer average plateau. So this is something that every streamer deals with ever. You guys all know how to deal with this. We'll start with MPI on this one.
Yeah. Now, before we start, are we talking about a like over time?
Yeah, so like say like, you know, you just haven't seen any growth in a while. You're not necessarily losing viewers. You're just sitting at like the same average number pretty consistently. We'll say like within 5 viewers or so. You know, and you don't know how to get out of this funk of, you know, not really gaining any traction or even losing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that you can look at with this. You know, have you changed up what you're streaming lately, or have you been streaming the same game for like 6 or 7 months straight?
Yep.
What are you doing the biggest one, like we talk about all the time, was what are you doing outside of Twitch? Have you noticed that like your either your Twitter or Instagram, you kind of stopped doing it, or have you slowed down a little bit compared to it? You know, those are kind of the biggest things that I would look at is, I guess, external factors that you can work on. I think a lot of people, and I mean, this happens, I'm sure, to all of us too. Whenever you see those things, you're like, man, I've been streaming to the same like people, the same number for like a month now, man. What's going on? And you just kind of like get down on yourself about it. And you're like, it's me. Everybody just hates me. Nobody wants to watch my stream. But it's, you know, what's changed? Has anything changed? Or have you been doing the same thing over and over again? And if that's working okay, and, you know, you're keeping an average number that you like and everything, that's fine, but maybe tweak a few things here and there. Or if you're seeing, okay, everything is exponentially going downhill, maybe you just need to kind of rethink where you're at and what you're doing. Right.
Dogg Gaming?
My MPI hits on quite a couple of things that are very important. Certainly external stuff. We mentioned it earlier, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias and stuff like that. But, you know, the first thing I would say is if you're hitting that consistent number, you know, first off, don't be back down on yourself, because you know what? You're doing something right, you know, because if you're hitting a consistent number over a month, that means that you're doing something that's making those same people come back to you every single time. So first off, don't be down on yourself about it. You know what I mean? Because that will hinder your ability to see properly what the external factors are as well are that are affecting you, because there are many external factors as well that you need to take into consideration. The time from the streaming time from November through January, February is always really weird. Your numbers will fluctuate in weird ways. To keep consistent through that kind of time, shows a lot of that you're doing the right things. So one of the other things I would say is be aware of the external things as well that are affect you that you don't have control over. Be aware that there are seasons when it's going to be better. For example, a lot of people right now are seeing varied results from what's happening with the coronavirus. You've got a whole lot of people who are seeing increased numbers, which is great, but you've also got some people that are seeing a reduction in numbers, partly because a whole lot of the streamers that watch them are now also streaming because they've got free time on their hands,
Right.
Now, so if you're not taking that into consideration, you could be sitting thinking they're all doing better and I'm doing worse. So you know what I mean? But you're not looking at these factors that you really have no control over that are dictating to it. So, that's something that I would bear in mind. Out with of, things to do. Absolutely. Look at your content. When was the last time, if you've hit a plateau, when was the last time you looked at your own VODs and compared a couple, 2 or 3 VODs to see what's going on? It could be that you've stopped doing the things that you were doing that's got you to this point, and that you just need to sort of reinvigorate yourself doing those standard basic things. But definitely the other thing I would say is if looking to create other types of content. I know someone here recently started a TikTok channel. Branching out into other content to reach markets that you are currently not tapped into. That's another thing as well, because and again, liking it back to the idea, you're doing something right, you've got consistent numbers. What it kind of tells me is that not enough people are seeing what you're doing, so you need to let more people see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Sadomi, what do you got, man?
Dogg hit a lot of things on the head, and the number one thing that I really want to hit on is pretty much isolating the problem. Like, is the problem that you need a larger reach, that you're losing people who were already there before, not come back as often, and also just kind of taking into account everything all together, not as in a bubble, but together. For instance, look at your numbers. If you see there's a dip at a certain time each day, and that's like consistent, then that's there. But if you notice that recently you've been going like do, and you kind of notice you're streaming like during work hours for most people, and you notice that the whole world situation going on, that's there too. Kind of have to take all the information and look at it not in a bubble, but as together. Second thing, are you growing on other platforms? Are you having other like things happen? Or you just all in general going down? You just essentially, my biggest like takeaway is just look at everything and figure out, isolate the problem, because sometimes it could just be you filled the niche that you're filling, and you just need more reach, which could be just posting more elsewhere, or networking with different people who do something similar, or hosting events that bring more people in, and hoping you get a decent return from those people, maybe like 3 to 2%, or maybe or even 5% if you're lucky, and just keep like changing up, doing stuff, but always just stay consistent. And also, if you go down for a bit, that happens. That's life. Nothing ever stays flat and even. If so, we'd be bored out of our minds. So, yeah, I say isolate the problem and just take notes and see where you are, and then kind of sit down, just analyze them from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys all touched on some really good points there, and when you go through something like this, it's easy to think that like. That it's you automatically, that it's like it's all you and people don't like you anymore or whatever it is. Every streamer goes through this. And I want to say real quick that it's not the biggest deal that you're plateauing, or even that you're really like losing a couple of viewers every once in a while. It's not the biggest deal. It's also not nothing, like we said before. Don't take it as like a personal attack on you from your viewers or anything like that, because it could be anything. It could just be the time of year, everybody's more busy, or there's so many things that go into it. But I think MPI touched on my favorite point that was made was, what are you streaming? Have you been playing the same game for 6 or 7 months or whatever? Because I remember playing Rainbow Six Siege for about that same amount of time, like pretty much exclusively only Siege. And you can get really complacent playing the same game because, the situations aren't new anymore. There's nothing in there that like keeps you on your toes. So it's really easy to just coast through a stream when it's the same thing you've been doing for the past, half a year. So switch it up and play something like, if you're used to a multiplayer game, play a story game by yourself and embrace the variety that's coming your way. And, I think, I consider myself mostly a first-person shooter streamer for sure. But I think some of the best content that I've had is playing games like Red Dead Redemption 2, or any story game, because the amount of content that you can get out of that while still being able to interact with chat because you can pause or whatever it is. It's just like you can build off of a story that's laid in front of you and make it even more funny than how they're, portraying it. And I think that's really important. So definitely change up what you're doing. Play a game that's a little bit different to you, one that you still obviously enjoy and that people would enjoy watching, but just make the best of whatever new game it is that you're trying to stream, and change it up a little bit. I think that one's huge. Obviously, there's other things in there like social media presence and everything, and it's all very important.
And I think too, if you already consider yourself a variety streamer, or that's what you want to be doing. Right now, with everything kind of going on in the world, is like the perfect time to try stuff out. More people are watching Twitch, and more people are discovering it because, people can't go out and interact with people anymore. They go to work. Some people still have to go to work every day. They don't work from home. But, Saturday, Friday nights, every night during the week, we're not going out to the bars. We're not going to our coffee shops we like. You're at home. So now is kind of the time to, if you ever wanted to do anything outside of gaming on stream, try it. Because what's the worst case scenario? It doesn't work out and you go back to what you were doing. Like, I mean, I did a just chatting night where I cleaned my office. People loved it. We did a baking stream over the weekend and people had a ton of fun with that. I'm talking about like one day through the week making an extremely chill day. We're going to play like a real chill game like Animal Crossing, or maybe just like point a camera down at the desk and literally color and chat with people. Like just try new things, especially right now.
I totally agree. I think this is the time to do stuff that's going to surprise people, because people's days got very monotonous. It's got very much the same. And if you can fling something in that is really out of the ordinary of what they're expecting from your daily stream, then I think that will brighten their day up and really change, and that's what we're ultimately here for, is, I'm sure we'd all agree, to make a difference in people's lives. But when you do that, it comes back. That's part of that's part of that's part of the reason for doing it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I agree. Doing stuff right now is the time to be doing stuff spontaneously. Change it up, make people feel that they are experiencing something off the cuff, and that it's not just part of the usual, this is what we do and this is how we do it,
Yep.
And it's a good time to branch out to other platforms. People are watching way more YouTube too, so even if you don't you don't have to put like a huge production together to make a YouTube video. Just put some clips together that you think are good and funny and upload it. Like, it doesn't have to be over the top if you don't have the knowledge, the time, or the money to hire someone who can do it. That's fine. Make what you can make. But now's a good time to get things out there like that, because more people are looking for more content to watch, because there's only so many things you can watch on Netflix before you've run out of new content to watch there. And then you're looking elsewhere for more content.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, every time you do something, you gain experience in doing it. So worst comes to worst, if it doesn't pan out, it just adds into your experience bar for next time. Then when you level up, that could be the time where you're just like, bang, I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on the ball today.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. I know how to do that. I did it before. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
All right, exactly. So we have a caller. We got Britt coming in. He hasn't called in a long time, so I'm excited to see what he's got for us. So,
all right,
once we're able to get that
the smart way today.
Smart way. Okay. All right. Weird.
Will I end up splitting 4?
I hope.
I hope. Wow. No, wow. Okay.
In Discord, not IRL.
Go ahead and bring him in.
Okay.
Oh, nope. See, this is why we did this the smart way.
Hey.
Discord did the opposite of what it did last time.
It's split.
It moved people
Wait.
different directions.
Moved the names. It put you in the middle last time, and now it's put the fifth person in the middle.
Yep. So let me move people where they need to go.
1 second there, Britt.
Well, last time, even whenever we did this before, like when we got it all set up, it put Dogg in the middle, and then it put the guest at the bottom automatically. Now it didn't do that.
I'm just saying, you're making Vince look really, really good right now.
Oh, it's like he doesn't also be on the show and run the show. It's like he does one thing.
Right? That's amazing. Whoever thought we had one person doing one single thing for production? Wow.
All right, we did it. Shut up.
Spicy MPI.
Don't sass me.
Oh, that was awesome.
Hey,
What's
perfection.
up, Britt? How you doing,
Hey,
man?
Brett.
I'm doing alright. How are you guys doing?
Always good. What you got for us today, man?
So, there's kind of part like what you already answered in the last question, but the past month I've been mainly streaming Destiny, and it's becoming difficult kind of near to end of the week because like I will get to maybe Friday or Saturday, and like I will be done with everything I need to do within that week. And I still have at least like 2 or 3 days to stream. And at the moment, I don't have a lot of games on my PC. So it's like, what the hell do I stream? And like, I don't work, so I can't earn money. I can't buy games. So like, I'm getting to a point where I don't know what to do, because I can't really stream Destiny much more for the week.
Right. So we'll start with Dogg Gaming on this one.
I mean, you've got quite a specific, quite unique issue there, in the sense that you're restricted to one game, and you know, without having any money to buy new games, I would probably suggest perhaps looking at some free-to-play games that you find on Steam and other platforms as well. You're not going to find AAA games, you know, but there are plenty of games out there that are fun that you can play, that you're not looking to play seriously over, you know, a concerted sort of level of time. So perhaps finding stuff like that can just break it up. But also, if you're finding that you're streaming Destiny and then you're running out, perhaps using those games to break up the days that you're doing Destiny, so that you do have some Destiny content at the end of the week. You've got some at the start, you've got some at the end. If Destiny's really what your main content is at the moment, but yeah, without you know, the ability to get more games, or without having games currently in your library that you want to play, I would look to see about playing free games, you know. And even beyond, you know, there are actually some real fun browser games as well, you know, like Flash games and stuff like that. There are actually some really, really fun ones. They're really simple and stuff. They're not going to cost you any money, and you can try them. If you don't like them, then you know, it's no harm, no foul. So that's probably what I would suggest. And looking to split your Destiny content up. That means that you'll still have Destiny as your main game. It's you're not going to get burnt out on it either as easy, because you're splitting it up. And you're not now looking at, I've got my Destiny content, now I'm stuck, what do I do? You know, you can sort of plan it out a bit more.
Yeah. MPI?
I mean, I think Dogg touched on a lot of really good stuff there. There's a lot of free-to-play games on Steam. There's a lot of indie games out there, too, that are either very, very cheap or are free. And maybe now would be a good time to check out some of those indie games to see if there's just a new style of game out there that you might like, or that just people like to watch. Because people love to watch indie games. People feel, I think, a little bit more connected to indie games because, you know, there's no big company behind it. where you get a AAA title like Call of Duty. People are like, "Oh, this is a cool game," but I mean, I don't really care because $1 billion studio put money into it. Where an indie studio, it could be literally two guys that live in an apartment together and did all of the work on this game alone. So those are really good things that people like to watch because they like to see that art showcased. I think too, like we were just talking about, now's a good time to try other new things. I don't know if you can draw or anything like that, but you could try drawing on stream, coloring things in on stream. I mean, there's tons of free pictures out there to print out and color, or even color on screen. People love art streams. It's a huge thing that's out there. Just chatting is a huge thing. People love that too. And you could even just get some topics together and make it kind of like a talk show. I mean, just there's a lot of different things out there to try, and I think branching away from gaming isn't a bad thing. And then specifically with like Destiny content, doing it earlier in the week on like Tuesdays when reset is the best time to, I think, do that versus at the end of the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was saying, I just to say one thing that I thought about, Keymailer. Have you signed up for Keymailer?
There's a few sites like that out there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a chance to get keys sent out to streamers and such for testing and such like that. And they're free of charge. So Keymailer's one. There's several. So if you look into stuff like that, that's another avenue for you to get access to more games.
Yeah, the other one that I see a lot is Terminals. Terminals.io is the website, and they have a lot of pretty big and good games on there. And the only thing that they really ask in return is that you send them like a link to the stream that you did of it. So, or if you make a YouTube video, they just ask that you just whatever content you made around it, they ask that you send that content to them so that they can see that you actually used it, and they can kind of use that as a way to see people didn't like this part of the game. Maybe we can improve on it this way, or people didn't enjoy watching this. How can we improve that for streamers? And it kind of helps everybody out. And it's a way to possibly get free keys. You're not guaranteed to get a game from anything that you apply for, but you can put in there, and there's usually a notes section where you can say why you're interested in the game, why you think your community would like this game. And then they're more likely to say, hey, yeah, let's get you a key so you have something to show.
Yeah, and Kale's Tales said in the chat, Epic Games have free games every Thursday at 4 p.m., usually 2 or 3 at a time, so that should help out too. Sadomi?
Yeah, so first thing I think you should do, Brett, write down as many ideas as possible for a broadcast for just 10 minutes. Doesn't matter if they're viable, doesn't matter if they make sense, just write down ideas. Just keep writing down ideas. Because then your brain will start chugging, you'll start getting ideas, and you'll find one that, doesn't sound too bad. And then you got to see if you can do it, whatever's in your budget, whatever is, simple, easy, get that one done out the way. And also, again, with MPI, just chatting's really underrated. Let's be honest, if you're a broadcaster, unless you're a professional at your game or you bring something so unique to the table that you can't find anywhere else, like someone like Kit Boga or even like Devin Nash, people are there for you. So you should capitalize on that part. Let's be honest. Most of your viewers, at least from my experience, most of your viewers that really engage you the most won't really be too upset if you sit and just on your camera and just, talk for 30 minutes or even just watch YouTube videos for a little bit. Most of them actually probably really don't mind and will engage more, because for some reason I've noticed, not some reason, but it's kind of obvious, but when you're less engaged with the game, you're more engaged with chat, which kind of makes chat more engaging with you. So it's kind of a give and take there, which is really, easy to use. So I recommend doing that. And of course, yeah, like MPI said again, indies, all day. I know me and MPI are working on a project right now, and there's so many games you can get out there. From if you're a streamer and you have a decent amount of people around, not even a lot, maybe 5 to 10 at sometimes, hit up an indie dev, and be like, yeah, sure, here, to give it a try. Let us know what you think. I've gotten emails from companies, and I haven't streamed consistently in months. So yeah, like I said, you just have to reach out there, find opportunities, and honestly, you don't have to really just. I keep saying this a lot. You don't have to just play games on Twitch either. You can do so many other things. And as long as you just kind of do something fun and engaging with not only you but also your chat, you will have a good time no matter what, and that'll help propel you to having better times in the future and getting more, more practice even to become a better broadcaster.
Yeah, and I think like you could also look into games that you're excited to come out that you want to stream. Like I know you're excited for Valorant, which is coming out later this year, I think sometime in the summer. So you could try to focus your channel maybe more on like more FPS multiplayer games, and that'll help you work on like your engagement with chat while playing those kind of games. It'll help you work on your aim so that by the time you play Valorant, you're not rusty at all. Certain things like that, because if you plan your stream for the future, it's obviously going to work out longer in the long run because you're preparing yourself for a specific kind of game. But obviously changing up, trying to do other things is also really important. I think that if you do want to focus on playing Valorant in the future, there's still room to do, creative streams or just chatting, whatever it is that you want to do. Just, because all of your content, it's all focused around you anyway. So it's all just based on what you want to do that specific day. And your viewers, as long as they're there for you, they'll enjoy whatever the content is.
And I think too, one thing that I kind of forgot about until we were talking about branching out and trying things is if you specifically only want to be a Destiny streamer, there's nothing wrong with that, but find ways to make more content around Destiny. Don't just play the game and stream it. Like we've seen Diebear, a true streamer who's talked a lot about it, that she just will like read the lore of the game and people love it. It's like story time. You read the lore of the game and people don't have to go searching for it, and you guys can discuss the lore and like how something came up and where someone came from and why that's so interesting. Or you can even read like patch notes if you really know a lot about the game and how that's going to change the way the game's played. People love that stuff. So find ways, if you don't want to play different games, to make more around your game.
Yeah, change up how you're doing stuff in Destiny even. Like set yourself challenges. Like try, if there's a trial that you can complete, try doing it with inferior weapons, or try doing it only using a pistol, or something like that. Make it, even if it's impossible, even if you're never going to do it, like do something that gives a different reason other than just watching Destiny, like PvP or PvE, whatever, have something else that's linked to Destiny, and set yourself a wee challenge like that, because that's other content you can create. You can record that, you can put that on YouTube. I try to beat such and such with this crap pistol, it doesn't matter if you don't manage to do it, it's still content there, so it's certainly that would allow you to even play more Destiny. That would allow you to have more Destiny time, but approaching it just from a different angle,
Yeah, I like what you said there about it doesn't even matter if you do it successfully or anything, because it's like, say you are getting really frustrated at a certain challenge because it is so difficult. You can play off of that and make a few extra clips for a good montage or whatever it is. That's extra content that you're getting that you wouldn't normally get had you played the game just like you always play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hope we were able to answer your question for you, Britt. Do you have anything else for us?
Yeah, definitely answers my question.
Awesome.
And I thought about maybe just one of the days or two of the days I could, instead streaming, I could just make it like a other social content. Like, for example, could make YouTube, Instagram, or just other platforms. And just make it like on them 2 days or that day instead of like streaming.
Yeah, I think that's really important, is to take time off of streaming to do other content, because the way I try to think about it, and it's been a little difficult with my schedule lately and everything, but streaming is kind of like your treat after putting in the work on everything else. You know what I mean? Because you're going to grow from other avenues a lot more than you'll grow from just being live all the time. So, you put out content in other areas and other platforms, and then you de-stress, and that's your time to just have fun and be live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think taking time off of streams to pursue other avenues, other, platforms is very important. I think that's a good idea for you. You got anything else for us, man?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we can help you out. Thanks for calling, man.
No problem. See ya.
Take it easy.
Later, bro.
Bye.
All right, man. We haven't had a Brit question in a long time. That was cool. So we got another question from Malicious Advice. Do sponsorships from companies, whether it's discount codes, being provided product, or paid in monetary funds, give a streamer credibility? And does that translate to additional growth, or if being associated with an excess of many companies or stream features like Stream Loot, Stream Food, Stream Quests, a hindrance to growth? So basically, is it beneficial to be sponsored or affiliated with a crap ton of companies just for credibility? We'll start with Sadomi on this one because I know he's got a lot on this one right now.
Yeah. So here's how I feel about. So let's also differentiate between sponsorships and affiliate links. So an affiliate link is essentially you endorsing a product and allowing people and getting a commission based off of how many people either click the link, for it or purchase the product itself. Secondly, a sponsorship means that a company is behind you. They approve things you do, and you also approve of the things they do. It's a partnership. So it depends on the companies themselves. Like, for instance, we're all sponsored by TRUgaming, and I assume we're all pretty good brand ambassadors for the brand. If you guys love TRUgaming, you also probably love us. Not to be conceited, but we're beautiful, aren't we? Exactly. But if I also was sponsored by what's a really good one? Gotta think. Okay, let's say I was sponsored by Weed Maps, and I can't even think of like a really bad company to be sponsored by because Twitch is so like accepting of things.
Pornhub.
What's wrong with Pornhub?
You tell me.
Okay, but example. Let's say I'm a PG safe work streamer, and I'm sponsored by Pornhub and Weed Maps.
There you go.
That is not going to reflect well on either Pornhub, Weed Maps, or me, because that's a conflict of interest right there. It's like, why are you marketing porn and weed to children? Like, what is wrong with you? So think about it from that perspective. It's a partnership, and companies want that. So if you also want to be sponsored by a company, remember, what they are there to make money. They want you to make money for them. That's the main reason why you're there. It's not a friendship. It's not a badge of honor. It's a deal, a business deal. So if you are okay with having your brand associated with that brand, then it's fine. Having too many sponsors, that can be a thing, but it really depends on what you do with them and what the point of them are. Because if you're sponsored by somebody and you don't get anything out of it, then that's just not even how it reflects on you. That just doesn't really do anything for you as well. And it kind of brings you just down as a creator. Just because if you're sponsored by something that doesn't mesh with anything you're doing, it just seems like you just don't know what you're doing itself. It makes sense that a lot of gaming streamers gaming content creators are sponsored by Dollar Shave Club, because let's be honest, a lot of gaming communities are mostly men, mostly males between 16 and 24 facial hair. So like I said, sponsorships are a partnership, and remember that having too many, I personally don't really care, but other people can see it that way. But also focus more on you. If you have 20 sponsors, but they're all relevant to what you do, all relevant to your demographics, and you're getting a lot of benefit out of them, if those 20 sponsorships mean that you can eat and pay for your kids and everything, and you're set, then screw it. It's whatever. It's your thing.
As long as they're not taking over your entire overlay just because every brand wants to be recognized 100% of the time. You know what I mean? If you have that slideshow thing that I think you do with Streamlabs, where it just shows one logo at a time and it cycles in. That makes sense. It's cool to have that. But if you just have a crap ton of logos on your overlay, that's real estate that you're just giving away, basically, especially if you're not getting any financial compensation for it. And honestly, the cleaner, the better. So whether I was getting paid $10,000 a month or not to have 30 logos on my overlay, I probably wouldn't do that just because it looks.
This dude. 10K, 30 months. No, that's. Give me that hat too.
Logos all over your face. You don't need to see me. It's all about these brand deals, homie.
Look, man, if you can make a meme out of it, people might think it's funny for a day.
That's true. Yeah, for a day.
At 10K a month? Okay. That's more than I make now.
So,
MPI, what you got, man?
You said something that I want to kind of differentiate between sponsor and affiliate even more than Sadomi did, Vel, and that's getting paid. So typically, a sponsorship, when someone says that they want to sponsor you, they are going to give you money. In exchange, you will show off their product, you will wear their shirt, their hat, whatever it might be, and that you kind of become like an advertisement for them. And like Sadomi said, make sure that that lines up with what you believe in. So, you know, like you said, if you're a family-friendly streamer, maybe don't get sponsored by a beer company. But the big thing that I see a lot of people go into it is 99% of companies that reach out to you, especially if you're a smaller or starting out streamer, want to offer you an affiliate code where, sure, they'll give you, I don't know, 50% off of a shirt, but you still have to buy that shirt. And then in exchange, they want you to put their name all over your stream, and then you might make like a 5% cut off of somebody clicking your link. So you're paying to advertise that company to make a tiny bit of money back, maybe if you're lucky. Mm-hmm. These aren't inherently bad things, but don't have a lot of those. It's different when you are either maybe a bigger streamer or maybe a smaller company even reaches out to you and is like, hey, we really like what you make, and we see that you drink, you know, coffee all the time. We're a small coffee roastery who's just starting out online. Let us throw you $100 a month and you know, a free bag of coffee, and in exchange you tell people about it and try to get them to buy it. There's a huge difference in those. So make sure you look out for that when somebody is like, hey, I want to sponsor you, but first you got to buy my stuff. Okay, no, you don't want to sponsor me. You want me to pay to advertise your stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't think having multiple sponsors is a bad thing, but I don't think that you should have a million of them either, you know, like, because at that point you're kind of just taking anything that you can, especially if they don't align with what you're doing. And even worse, I feel like, are the affiliate links, because you don't really have to work to get those. They just want people to take them because you have to spend money for them to make money, if that makes sense. And you might make a little bit of money.
Now, with affiliate links, here's something too. If you're doing like product reviews or you're doing something of that nature where you're looking at products, having an affiliate code for things you use, so when people ask you what you use a lot and they want to use it, that's fine. And I recommend doing that because if someone's like, hey, Sadomi, how do I start streaming? Well, you probably want a webcam. You can get whatever you want. I have them. I use this one for this time. They use this one. Here's affiliate links for all of them. If you want to use them, go ahead. If not, you know, whatever gets you the best. Because when it comes to affiliate links, you only get paid from those if you convert. And so the real trick for that is converting. So if you want to make money from it, you have to convert. And for sponsorships, you have to convert, represent the brand well. In other words, don't pull a PewDiePie and say dumb stuff on stream. And you also have to make sure you are, you know, consistent with it too. Like you can't also be like sponsored by TRUgaming server company and then another server company too. That's just conflict of interest, and then that just doesn't look good for your professional image. Mm-hmm. So essentially, just keep your mindset straight about sponsorships. And like I said, affiliate links, if you have them for stuff you use and other things you truly do endorse, like that. Because if you give someone a bad recommendation, they're not going to take a recommendation again. So you're done with that person forever.
Yep. Rob Busey just said something really interesting in the chat. He said, accepting anything and everyone does nothing more than devalue your brand as a whole. Be selective, try the product first, and back the things that are important to you, just like everyone is saying. Make sure that your brand holds water and that people value your opinion and your brand. You nailed it. That's absolutely what we're trying to say for sure.
Yeah. I think the best example of that is Lil Dicky's Save That Money video.
Yep.
Great example. Absolutely. What was the entire video about? Saving money and selling out. And what did he do? He made $600 from a music video, like from doing the music video, not even like putting it on like internet, just from making the music video itself. If he never posted, he made $600 from that with Lamborghinis and models. So we're good.
Pretty cool stuff. Dogg Gaming, what do you got on this one, man?
Well, I think everybody's hit most of the things on the head. I think the thing that I really would stress though is about, and Sadomi talked about this. Make sure that that anything you're being sponsored by, or it's linked to what you're doing. Like I would say, someone like Sadomi said, it doesn't matter if you've got 20 sponsorships and they're all linked to you. That I would agree, because if a person's got one sponsorship and I'm like, how does that? What is that? Then it makes me instantly feel this is kind of grubby what you're doing it for. You don't really believe in this, and it does, and and it might not be that it might be the only sponsorship, or would you call it you have. It just comes across as you're just saying this for cash, So definitely for me, what I would stress is to make sure that there is some relevance to your brand or to your content. Because otherwise it just comes across as I'm just trying to sell you stuff here,
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think everybody hit all the nails on the head.
Yeah, you definitely don't want too many, but I mean, if they're offering you real stuff and you actually do support the company and what they do, then do it up. Just like we were saying, be selective. We have another caller. We got Crazy Eyes coming in, so this is going to be
MPI, get ready.
Yeah. All right,
get ready on your cut-off button.
Let me add them in real quick. This is, I mean, everybody here who watches the show knows what this is about to be.
What? Discord, we are gonna fight today.
Is it doing like the complete opposite?
There's MPI in the middle.
Same thing again.
Jeez, dude.
Crazy Eyes, do you even have a camera?
Vince, where are you?
Yeah, I got a camera.
Well, it's not showing.
It's not
You're
showing.
not showing.
Yeah, got him. Nope.
Take your webcam cover off.
This is so upsetting.
Take your webcam cover off.
Bro, what if it wasn't a webcam?
I know you have it
cover,
on.
though?
It is. I know it is.
Take your
Oh.
lens
Step back
cap
from
off,
the
bro.
webcam.
Hey, there you are.
What'd you just do?
It was set to my game input capture card.
Oh, that makes a lot of
Well,
sense.
Yeah,
you
that's
shouldn't
weird.
have done that. Obviously, this guy.
It's okay.
I was like the
He's
self
here
plug
now.
in the background. I like it. I like it.
Pro
Okay,
streamer
there
and
we are.
podcaster, Crazy Eyes.
Before I get to my question, I just need to let you know that this call-in is brought to you by Dewar's White Label Scotch Whiskey. For the best and finest blended Scotch whiskey around, choose Dewar's.
Whoa. I need the money first. I need the money first.
And by Marlboro Cigarettes. For
I need the no. We can't do that one. No, we need the money. We need the money. Listen.
Okay, so I make a lot of my content for children, and all right. So first, Dogg, I just wanted to say happy birthday.
Thank you, dude.
to
Appreciate
Dogg.
you.
What are you're 28 years old now.
28, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that birthday wishes to you from me.
Yeah.
And then secondly,
This dude. Wow. Great question. Great question from Crazy Eyes. He debated all of us. That was hi. He's on a new level.
All
This
right.
quarantine is making people crazy.
He doesn't get to come back on until Vince is back on the show. I get paid for this.
Just making his unpaid life so difficult. This is great. This is great. I'm sorry, MPI. I love you.
Start pouring alcohol in these coffees before the show.
Smart. Definitely smart. Okay. So we got more questions from a long time ago that we're going over. We got Dad Trash Games. What is the best way without being annoying to get your channel plugged? This is yep.
I got it.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Go. What
Here's
is
the best to get your channel plugged? Make something good that people click.
Yeah.
Boom.
Channel plugged.
This question? It's wow. It's wow. I had to include this because this is a question that people do ask a lot. Is how do I get people to plug me? Like, how do I get other people to support me? You know what I mean? So we'll start with Dogg because he looks very frustrated right now. I want to hear his unfiltered opinion. Yeah, he does.
Dogg's like, I'm about to fight this man.
He's almost about the hottest roast of 2020.
While you're doing that, I'll be right back.
I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm just, what's the best way to get yourself plugged? It just seems that it kind of reeks of me as someone that has not looking to make any real connections and is just looking solely for what can you do for me? What can you do for me? And when can you do it for me? That's the best way to make sure you never get plugged. You know, if you come across, if people begin to think of you as someone that's just there to try and jump on their clout or to try and, you know, get a boost or a signal, whatever, you know, that's the best way to make yourself a pariah in the community, because as we've said before, someone's got a complaint, they're going to share it with 10 people before they share a compliment. You know what I mean? So what Sadomi said it. You know, if you want plugged, make something worth plugging. Make something like, how do you plug other people's stuff? You look at it on your social media, you think, I like that, I'm going to retweet it, or I'm going to like it, or I'm going to comment. You know what I mean? That's how it is. So if you want plugged, do something worth being plugged. If you find that you're not getting plugged, do better.
Do better.
It's kind of like a 5-head answer even, but it's just like, it's that simple though. Like, just make something people like, because no matter, good example. Okay, everyone right now, go to www.oneladiesfashion.com.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that.
I'm sorry, I don't want this in my browser.
Okay, see, I plugged it, and we'll see how it goes in like a week. We'll see.
MPI, what do you got on this one, man?
So I mean, they both kind of said a majority of what I would say too, but so take your mindset that you have right now of how do I get plugged, and think the exact opposite. Stop that. Actually make connections with people to make a real connection, not because, oh, you know, Dogg's a huge streamer and I love his stream. Bro, I bet if I tell him I'm a streamer, he's going to tell people to watch me. No, stop that. Think the complete opposite of what you're thinking right now. And do that. Basically.
Yeah. There's so many streamers on Twitch that like there's no need for us to just shout out a streamer just because they're also a streamer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it'd be different if there was like 4 of us. Like if it was just us and then somebody came into the chat and they were like, whoa, there's more of you, and then they're like, I also stream, then we might want to, you know, support you and just shout you out without even knowing you or your content at all, just because we want to help the whole streaming atmosphere, everything grow. But there's so much content out there, there's so much competition that like you're really only going to support the people that you're friends with and that put on really good content that you also enjoy watching. Because I'm not going to shout someone out just for the fact that they do the same thing that I do. And you know, because
typically they have to kind of align with you as a person too, not just as a streamer.
Yes,
you guys have to have some kind of similar mindset. Whether it's, you know, I want my stream to help people, I want to entertain people. You know, I want to be able to sell my art that I make on my stream. And you're gonna find people who do those same things, but you have to actually find them and meet them and give them a reason to want to care that you do things. Because if you come in and you're just like, hey, I stream art too, people are gonna be like, great, shut up. This is my stream, I don't care. But if you're like my best friend, or we've talked, you know, you've been in my community for a really long time, you come in and you're like, hey, I'm gonna start streaming, and then I'm gonna be like, guys, go check out my friend who's gonna try streaming. You have to actually make a connection with people.
That doesn't mean I'm about to start streaming right now. Like this.
No, that could mean like, hey, I'm gonna try to learn how to stream, and I'm gonna do it next Friday night. Can you know? Exactly. Can you help me out? That kind of stuff. Don't go in and be like, I'm gonna stream in 5 minutes, everybody. Ha ha ha. Get out.
At the end of the day, like every one of our communities trust us, you know, and I'm not going to send my community to someone that I don't know, or I don't enjoy, or B, I don't enjoy their content. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's not going to happen. My community come back and tell me, hey, by the way, I went and checked that person out and they were awful. You know, it's like that means that next time I do plug someone that I really want to plug, you know, people might think, you know, well, the last person he sent me to wasn't so great. So again, do something worth plugging. It's the very heart of it all. You know, make content worth plugging. Then you won't even need to worry. That's the point. You make content worth plugging. You don't need to worry about people plugging you. They will do it. They'll just do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
If you can entertain somebody that much to where they really just enjoy your content, they'll plug you because they there's enough people on Twitch to where like we can all be successful, like we can all grow, we can all be better streamers, we can all entertain, and there's really no issue with that, and like there's also so many streamers that are terrible that like you don't need to worry about them taking your viewers or anything. You know what I mean? Like there's so much competition on Twitch that like you're just not gonna shout people out just for the sake of them streaming. Like we've all been saying, like I'm not going to. I don't care. Like I don't know you, you don't know me, and your one goal out of talking to me is me plugging you or shouting out whatever it is. I'm not going to help you out. Like that's just how it's going to work. I don't care enough to help out random people. I'm going to help out my friends and people that I know put out really good content because that's what it's all about.
And one thing too, even in my channel, I don't shout anyone out because I just don't think that does anything.
It really doesn't. And like it, if anything, it just helps out that streamer just know that they support you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It seems kind of like a big circle jerk, honestly, to me.
Yeah, it really doesn't do much. And like I do shout outs for people who host my channel while I'm streaming, just to give something back. Like because them hosting me might not get me anything either. It definitely could bring some people over, and it has in the past. But it's just the same thing as shouting somebody out. It might not lead to anything, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's just that's the way that Twitch is, and you shouldn't expect to get anything out of anybody in any case ever. Mm-hmm. It's just make friends, put out good content. Make friends, put out good content. There's 4 steps to streaming.
Yeah,
now,
have fun.
Yeah.
Now I'll give you a really big tip for what a good shout out is. A good shout out is if you have something like really funny and relevant to someone, and you ask them, "Hey, can I show you something?" Not necessarily on stream, but like a DM on stream if it's like relevant to the stream themselves, and like you show them that, then if you put good work to it and it's good, just leave it there. Yeah, I just want to show you, and that's it. Because if they like it, if someone likes it and brings them happiness, people have a tendency to want to share happiness, or so if you want to share happiness, people will, and that's it'll happen on its own. So if you make something good, like for instance, I made a video for one of my friends because I don't know why. I was like, I don't know what I was doing. I was on something probably. And I just made the dumbest meme video ever. It took me like 10 minutes and like 30 minutes in Premiere. Posted it, and dude loved it, and he retweeted it out to all his followers. And I was like, cool, sweet, I liked it. That was cool. So like I said, just make something cool, relevant, and people will share if they like it. And if they don't, well, you learn something.
Yep. Absolutely. So we got a question from Ninja Spence 21, who's actually in the chat right now. He says, "Hey guys, as a person who stutters on stream, I feel like my voice is my voice scares people away, but people say I'm fine. Thoughts on people that stream and stutter?" So who wants to start on this one?
Go on, Dogg.
Well, all I'll say is this: I've got a couple of things to say. First off, as long as you feel comfortable, that's all that should ever matter. If you feel comfortable on stream. And then that's all that matters. Anybody who would not watch you because you stutter, they're not worth your view. They're not worth your time. Ultimately. So I'm sure you're going to get, unfortunately, because of the way the internet is, I'm sure you're going to get toxicity from it. My suggestion with that is turn it to a positive. Don't let it get to you. Turn it in a way, whatever way that it is that you do. I have a chat. I have a when people come in or toxic to me, I have a habit of sort of playing it up to chat and letting chat sort of eviscerate or whatever if people are there. Like find a way that you can. I'm not saying you necessarily have to do that, but find a way that you can turn that to your own end and turn that to something that's a positive for yourself. That's actually, because that will work as content as well. If you find a way where you can deal with trolls and such like that, people will be like, "Hey, check this out. Check how they deal with trolls." But going back to what I initially said, if you're comfortable and content, that is all that matters. That is literally it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I used to stutter when I was younger. So one thing for me, everyone's stutter, like their speech patterns are different. Everyone's speech patterns change over time. Like even me now, I'm very self-conscious about how I speak. I think sometimes I trail off too much, or I just keep going without a single thought going forward. And I've learned that it takes practice, not practice at just like improving your what you're doing, but practice at being comfortable with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, look at people like Ricky Gervais is a good example. if you don't know who he is, I think he has cerebral palsy, correct? I think. Doesn't know.
I don't know if he
you're
does.
not Ricky Gervais. You're talking about Ricky Berwick.
Oh, Ricky Barrett. Okay, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
don't know.
Ricky
Okay.
Gervais
I was
wrote The
confused
Office.
too. I was like, wasn't Ricky Gervais the original Michael
Ricky
Scott?
Gervais doesn't. I don't think so.
Okay, sorry. I apologize for misnaming the person, but yeah, you can say this man could have a lot of insecurities about his content, but he just owns it and he just makes the funniest like stuff sometimes. Almost so funny I can't watch it. So so it's all a matter of how comfortable you are with it, because everyone has their flaws. Like I'm sure everyone on this podcast has a dark secret they don't want anyone to know about, something they're really insecure about, they're never going to tell on the podcast. I know we all do. So
nope, open book.
Once you just be comfortable with what you're comfortable with, and hey, honestly, if people don't like how you stutter and they judge you because of that, well, guess what? That's the internet. People are going to judge. People are going to judge you for existing. People judge me because I'm bald. People judge me because I'm black. People judge me because I have a beard. People judge me because I'm not 6 foot. People judge me because I live in this room. I don't care.
Wait, you're not 6 foot?
Right? I mean, listen. My stat sheet says it, but
the back of my trading card says I'm 6 foot.
Listen, I'm 5'11" and 7/8. Okay.
Oh, you're killing me, dude. Wow.
Yeah, we'll just round that down.
5'4". Got it. Okay.
FBI on my third arm.
FBI, what do you got about this, man?
I mean, I think kind of like what you guys both said is pretty accurate. As long as you're comfortable with streaming and you're happy doing it, then if people don't want to watch just because you have a stutter, they're not worth your time. They're gonna be a jerk about something no matter what. And I think as you stream more and you kind of start to grow a community, you're going to find people who will, kind of like Dogg said, if somebody comes in and says something about something like that, that's, people can come in and troll people about, their hair, their face, whatever. But, something like a stutter is, I feel like almost a little bit different because you literally can't help that. Like, people can make fun of my beard and I can shave my beard.
Right.
But you can't just be like, oh, yeah, you're right, man. Guess I just won't have my stutter anymore. Didn't think about that. So as people come in and if they're, kind of jerks about it, when you build up a community, you may not even see it before your community is like, hey, shut up. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you a bad person? You should feel bad about yourself. And they'll start to help shut that down. And especially as you get mods, they're just going to be like, bro, get out of here. Right. And people are always going to find a reason to not watch something if they don't want to. But I don't know why they would even start to at that point. Like, I have people come in all the time and complain that I have closed captions. Why are you upset that I have closed captions? Go away. You're in the wrong stream, buddy.
Go away.
Yeah,
read that one. Was it in my closed caption?
Yeah, you can read it in case you were wondering what I said. But the whole point in having stuff like that is to make my stream and Twitch overall more, inclusive. So there might be people who won't stream because they have a stutter, but as soon as they see someone who is doing it, they're like, man, I can do that too. Like, why is that the thing that's holding me back? So you could be the person that pushes someone forward. So the more accessible that your stream is, the better. And if people have a problem with that, they're in the wrong stream.
Yep. Yeah, to touch on what you just said, I've always been an advocate for if somebody doesn't like my content, it's not for them. For whatever reason, they don't like it. If they don't think I'm a good streamer, too fat, whatever it is, like, if you don't like it, it's not for you. If you don't like my sense of humor, it's not for you. Whatever. Like, I make my content because I enjoy making it and in hopes that other people do. And if you don't, why do I care what you do and don't like? There's so much other, so many other options on Twitch that you can, like Sadomi, or not Sadomi, like MPI just said, you can just go away and figure out something else to watch, and that's totally great. But as someone who, definitely used to have a hard time speaking clearly, I never had like a speech impediment or anything. And it wasn't a stutter. It was just, I tend to slur my words a lot, or I'll mumble, it's something that's taken a lot of practice for me. Like, especially when I first started streaming, I would just practice talking all the time just to enunciate better anything, because I knew that I just didn't talk very clear. And obviously it's a little bit more difficult with something like a stutter. but just being more comfortable talking with the way that you talk, I think is really important, like everybody's just said. So just keep pressing, keep doing your thing. Don't be self-conscious about it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So I hope you're able to answer your question for you, Ninja Spence. If you have anything else that you'd want to add or ask, make sure to @ me and TRUgaming. So next topic or question is, what is the biggest piece of advice you can give to a very new streamer / content creator? Like the best piece of advice.
Easy.
You do it up.
Easy. Don't go and spend a whole lot of cash on equipment.
Oh, cool. Yeah, quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't spend a whole lot of cash on equipment. I know so many people. There's some equipment I've got here that has come from people that started streaming, went out and bought stuff, did it for a couple of months, and they're like, "Hey, I'm selling all my stuff." Right?
I love that so much.
Right. So
I'm selling all my stuff. I'm just getting rid of it. I don't like this.
So I've got stuff here through that. But that's my first tip is this: do not go out and start. I need this. I need this. I need that. I need this. I need this. No, you don't. You need a PC, an internet connection, a camera, a mic. And that's what you start out with. Do it for a good while before you consider investing in the stream. See if it's for you. See if it's something you enjoy doing, because it's more than just turning on as everybody here will tell. It's more than just turning on the stream and playing games. There's a lot more involved in it. So don't jump in both feet. Just try it out, test it out, and then see where you go from there.
Yeah. Man. People just ball out sometimes, and then they realize
they do.
they're like, either this isn't for me because I don't like doing it, or like I suck at doing this apparently. So, and they don't have the ambition to actually try and get better. People ball out, and it's interesting to see, because, and also a lot of times you'll see things like people will continue to buy stuff even though their motivation for streaming isn't there like it used to be. You know what I mean? Like they're just buying interest in streaming.
Retail.
Apparently Sadomi's on that. Thank you, babe.
Why did I buy a stream deck? I don't need this, but it's pretty. It's shiny. I only use it to change my audio source from my speakers to my earbuds. That's it. It costs $150 to do that. But you know what? It was worth it.
Man, you gotta look into other stuff you can do with that. You can do so much with that thing.
I try, but literally I can't find anything else I do.
This dude.
All right, I'll tell you one thing you can do with it. I'm almost 100% sure you can use it for your editing software.
Yes.
To jump between like your cut, your blade tool, everything.
Oh yeah, I could. I just don't. I pay $25 a month for Premiere. I think I've made 2 videos in 3 months.
Hey, if you use the Adobe software right now is the time to message them and be like, "Hey, can I have this for free?" Because they'll give it to you for free.
Yeah,
good point.
They're doing like 60 to 90 days for free to people who have the Adobe suite during all of this COVID mess. Because let's face it, if you're an artist right now, you're probably making zero money.
Facts.
Yeah. But yeah,
so does anybody have
look into more stuff you can do with that thing, Sadomi. Come on, man.
So does anybody have any other like kinds of advice to give a very new streamer or content creator aside from just don't ball out?
Go on, MPI.
I think outside of that, because I agree with that. Don't go crazy spending money on equipment. I mean, if you got the money, I guess do whatever you want. You're grown. It's not my money. But, maybe not the best idea.
You're grown. Figure it out.
Yeah, you're grown. But don't expect to just turn it on and people be there. It's going to take more work than people give you the idea that it does. And I mean, it's the same thing we talk about all the time of make sure you're doing things on social media. You're posting other places. You're doing something other than hitting go live. And that's it. The other piece of advice that I would give a very new streamer who might be looking at it going, oh man, I don't know if I can do this, is hit go live. Just do it. It's one of those things that you just have to start at some point. So just hit start streaming or go live if you're using Streamlabs OBS and do it. And whether that's, with your laptop webcam and the microphone on it or, the microphone on your headset, get started and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Sadomi?
Perfect. I'd say ask 10 of your friends to hang out with you for an hour on stream and just stream for an hour. And to see if you like the general concept of it. Because that will tell you if you like the general concept. If you like the concept of doing it and you like doing it, next time you do it, you're not going to have all your friends there again. They're not going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But this way, you kind of get your foot in the door. You kind of see how it is, keep going through. Because the first thing that every person thinks when they stream, I don't care how... It is kind of the nature of streaming. It'd be kind of dumb to not think this. But you think you're going to have people watching your broadcast. Which, I know, like it's... I know it's like the most five-head thing to say, but like...
This dude thinks he's going to get viewers.
Like, it's... Well, because it's the nature of how it is. People don't know you're doing it, and there's nothing people want to go see themselves, then there's not gonna people not gonna show up. So essentially, tell 10 of your friends, ask them to hang out with you for an hour on stream, do whatever, I don't care, play card games, play Uno, read a book, play Rocket League, and eat your PC out the window, whatever you feel, and just do it. And then once you do it, you can start, going down, seeing what you can improve, what you like doing about it, what you don't like doing about it. And whatever you do, and I swear, whatever you do whatever you want to do. Don't do something because you're like, oh, I have to do this. Because once you have to do something, the only time I do something that I have to do something is either I'll get paid or I get arrested. Mm-hmm. So
facts.
It's just true.
It's real, man.
This just took a turn.
I mean, he's not wrong, though.
No, he's not. He's not.
Unless you're going to pay me or take me to jail, why do I have to do it?
Exactly.
I mean, you should probably clean your house, though, still. That might be something you have to do. But
oh, yeah.
Again, you're grown. Make your own decisions.
Wash your hands.
Well, it'll cost you money.
If you have to brush your feet off before you go outside, it's a problem. All right. But yeah, really
experience
stuff. Yeah. No, maybe. Who's asking? But I think one thing you have to think about is what you think about yourself as a streamer. Like, what do you want to be? Because unless you're the top tier pro level, gamer, which even some pro level gamers aren't big on Twitch. You have to remember that because there is still a balance that has to be there. You do still have to be entertaining. You can't just sit there and just tell chat to F off. You guys do your own thing. I'm doing this. If you guys want to watch and talk, that's cool. I don't care. If you have that mentality, people aren't going to watch you because they could do that anywhere. They could get a montage video on YouTube that has better content than that. Mm-hmm. Or they could go watch, pro league stuff, in actual competition. Mm-hmm. So if you're not Bolo or Shroud or Ninja or whatever, and even then, they still have some sort of entertainment value there aside from just being really good at a game. You're muted, by the way, Sadomi.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I didn't pick that up.
I was mouthing to myself because
I
agree with
you know what? Don't yell at me. All right, I'm
sorry.
But so basically, if you're not that top level, Fortnite player or Rainbow Six Siege player, whatever it is, you're an entertainer first before anything. You can pull off all the sick, super nasty shots and everything, but if you're not talking to your chat, then there's probably going to be 4 people there, and they might get a little hyped over it, but what's it really going to do for you? Yeah. So if you're not those kind of people, you're an entertainer first. You're talking with chat. You're making the best out of every situation, whether it's good or bad, and you're just trying to hype up chat or whatever it is that you want to do to entertain people. So many people think that they're just going to be like the next Ninja because they're really good at a game. But if you can go through the directory and you'll find hundreds and hundreds of people who are amazing at Fortnite, but they have, very little viewers compared to people that they're probably better than. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You have to really think about that. So if you're not top level pro league, which you aren't, if you're listening to this, most likely. So basically what I'm saying is you're not that. You're an entertainer, and you need to think about streaming like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think even depending on what it is, even if you are at that top level, it's not fun to watch. I've tried to watch some of my favorite Halo players stream, and they don't talk at all. They're just zoned into the game. I'm like, this is boring. I can go do this myself by playing the game. Or I could just watch it on YouTube later.
It's better to watch somebody suck. and be more entertaining.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's looking as Belly was saying about pro players. Guys like Pengu. What separates him is the fact that he can talk to chat while he's playing. He's making these plays. That Shroud can keep a conversation on while he's wrecking people. He's an entertainer. His skill is that he's incredible at FPS games. He's an entertainer while he does it.
Sal's a freak though.
Well, he is, but he's also to me he's the ideal example in this scenario. Do you know what I mean? He is a freak. He is a freak with his ability. But there are people out there that have got better aim than Shroud, but they're not the ones who are amongst the biggest names in streaming just now, because his aim might not be as good as theirs, but he does, as Veli said, he does the entertaining part. He's there, talking to chat, interacting, and reacting in a way that's entertaining to what's going on, because that's another thing, a lot of people don't realize that they're doing. If you're top of your game and it's serious to you, your serious reactions are not always entertaining to people. There are some people that can get angry and it's funny. There are people out there, when they get angry at games, we can all laugh at it. But there's a lot more people out there when we get angry at games that we're like, oh my days, that's off-putting. I don't want to see that. And so, that's another part of it as well.
And I think, Dogg, like you said, like there's people who can get angry at games or like upset, but they're probably not as upset as they're showing you.
Yes,
like they're playing it up for the camera, and that's what makes it exciting. Where the person who's legitimately angry is probably just like, that's like this angry face. They're like, like they're not doing anything. They're just like stone cold in the face.
I've cursed out more NPCs when in reality I would have been like, "Hey Tim."
Yep. So we got another question from Ninja Spends 21. He says, I'm on that grind for the next level, and I'm slowly moving to art from variety. What do y'all think of a stream that teaches people about making panels and other elements for the stream? So he's trying to get more into doing the creative streams. What do you guys think about that? Especially with like helping streamers out with making their own stuff. And Sadomi looks like he's ready to answer this a million times.
I have a lot of thoughts on this too, so go ahead.
Yeah, so honestly, that is something you would definitely want to transition to making into YouTube tutorials because it's very searchable. You can do it live. I'd recommend doing it live too if you got the time.
Live.
Yeah, do it live. But don't record. Do not do this. Do not take the VOD and post it to YouTube because who's going to search do a 3-hour tutorial? Even Google knows this. They just pin you to the point they think the tutorial starts out the intro if you Google something. So make a tutorial, make it short, sweet, to the point. And then if you want, make a more in-depth one. And then do like, hey, I do these live. If you want to see live, ask me questions. Do a call to action. Bring them right on over to your Twitch stream. And then with new channel pages coming out, have your channel pages do all, say, hey, I do channel art stuff. And make sure you have a commission page because people are too lazy and want to pay someone else to do it. So you need some money. There you go. And that's pretty much exactly what you should do. I think for streams though, just essentially it's going to be office hours. You're working, but you're going to be also answering questions. And I know no one gets a lot of work done during streams. It's just your focus isn't there. So think of that as like office hours, and work on projects that you can kind of like. I don't want to say like lazily do, but something you can kind of background do, like more medial stuff. Yeah, but definitely YouTube because you can abuse a search engine for that. It's really easy. I know there's probably a lot of people out there already with that, but if you can learn a bit of SEO, learn where to rank in, not on YouTube, but also on Google search if you want to put it through your channel. By the way, you can rank with your Twitch channel on Google. It's hard, but you can. It's possible. So keep that in mind. And just focus on doing all of that. But take it one step at a time. Don't burn yourself out.
MPI.
I mean, I kind of agree, like exactly what you said. If you want to do tutorials and how-tos, a concise YouTube video is better for that. Because if I want to know how to do something, my first thought isn't I'm going to go to a Twitch stream and hope that they cover it or ask them how to do it. I'm just going to go to YouTube where I can pause, rewind, and whatever I need to do while I'm trying to learn on my other screen. If you want to do streams for them, that's fine. But I would do it more focused on making the art. And if someone has a question, obviously answer it. But other than that, I would just focus on making the art, having maybe like some music in the background that's, good, not copyright music, so it's entertaining, and talking about what you're doing. Like, why are we making this color the way that we are? Why are we doing this art the way that we are? And if you do art as a commission, you might see some commissions from that, but don't rely on that to bring in all of your commissions. I've done video editing streams before, and I had like maybe 2 or 3 commissions out of it. But at the same time, like Sadomi said, you're not going to get a lot of work done during that time. So like if you are a graphic designer by trade and you from like 9 to 5, that's your job. You're a graphic designer, even if you're freelance and you do it at home, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'll just stream this while I do it. You're going to cut your productivity into like maybe 25% of what you were getting done, because you're going to have to stop and answer questions. You're going to talk to chat. You're going to have to change the music whenever it stops playing, or whenever a song comes up that is not copyright free, or whatever it is. You're going to run into things where you're going to get a lot less work done. So if you're going to do streams of it, block out some time and say, like, we're going to get this one project done or started. And if I get some commissions from it, I get some commissions from it. Use that kind of just to remind people, like, hey, I do this and take commissions if you want. But as far as teaching people to do it, a YouTube video is a million times better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Agreed. To touch on with it, what you were saying about with Twitch, in order to do any kind of tutorial in Twitch, everything has to be done first. You see whatever stages you've got, so that you can bring it down. This is how I started out, and whatever it is you're working on, it's a panel, say, it's what I started out with. And you can go through what the process, and then you bring in the next stage that's completed from, and you can show it sort of, we call it the Blue Peter style. Here's one I made earlier, where you can sort of phase it in, and you're not actually having to do the work itself on stream. The work is already done, because as Sadomi and MPI said, the chances of you actually being able to do work in the normal manner that you would work in as a designer, an artist or stuff, it's not going to happen, because you're going to have too many outside interruptions that are going to break your flow and just stop your productivity from being anywhere near. So if you are thinking at all of doing any kind of Twitch tutorials, you have to have done all the work beforehand and just have it as almost a show and tell as to how your each stage worked out. So again, if you're doing that level of work, the YouTube video is far more desirable, because you can record doing it all with YouTube and edit it and put it together, and then you're not having to sit and come back and go, this is how I did it, this is how I did it. So yeah.
And I think a lot of people too, at least this is the way that I do it, is if I look up a tutorial, I'm probably already in the middle of doing it. And then I just looked at it and went, oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm just going to Google it. And then I look it up, and I'm working on the thing on the side while watching the tutorial. So being able to pause it, rewind is better than having like a multiple second delay where I'm asking someone on Twitch who answers it, and then I'm like, okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes, when I still don't understand it. And then I go try to do it, and I'm like, wait, still confused. So it just won't, I think for both sides, it wouldn't work out quite as well as just a static video. And plus that static video, people can view it at any time. So if you're not streaming at 2 o'clock in the morning, but somebody is up at 2 o'clock in the morning working on those graphics, they can go watch your YouTube video to learn how to do it, rather than be like, oh, I'll just wait till he's live again in a week or whatever it is.
Yeah. Also, don't get discouraged if you're Jesus. Don't get discouraged if you're don't get discouraged.
Streamer abuses equipment.
If you don't get a lot of views on it, because if it's searchable and people have it, you're gonna get views over time for it. So don't worry about like the view part. Make sure it's good, easy to follow, and just make sure it's good first and foremost. Make sure if you show it to like the guy who's never opened Paint before, and he can get like at least a little bit of something done.
Well, there you go. I think you guys nailed it on all of that, so I don't really feel like I need to talk about that anymore. You guys obviously, like, you guys know what you're talking about. So we got another question from I'm probably gonna say this wrong, but I'm assuming it's Carrick. Could be wrong, probably am. Never have been right before. So karaoke. There we go. Is that it for real?
That actually makes a lot of sense.
It does. Is that really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Karaoke. See, I knew I wasn't going to be right. Called it. So karaoke says I just started streaming, encouraged by a friend. It's a painting stream for now, but I have one follower. How do you build a following? Is it a hashtag like Instagram? So who wants to start here?
How to build a following? It's a slow thing to begin with. It's one of these things that exponentially grows the longer you do it. So at first, like growing any social media, for example, when you first opened your Twitter account, your Instagram account, stuff like that. The first thing to do is obviously to make sure you're following all your friends and stuff like that. You know, make sure all your friends know about your stream as well. You do that through your social media links, through your Discord and stuff like that. But this is what you're talking about here is promotion, is self-promotion. For a lot of people, this is a bit of a dirty word, you know. There are rules though. As you're new to Twitch, we can go through some of the basic rules because, you know, there are some faux pas that you can make that will see you get a bad name, not even realizing it. You know, self-promotion has to be done through your own channels. You can't do it through other people's streams, through other people's channels. Going to people's Discords and putting stuff in self-promotion channels, yeah, it's cool, but let's be honest, I don't know about everybody here, how many of you're in Discords that have got self-promotion channels, how many times you click on them and how many times do you go to someone's stream or YouTube channel because of it?
I had one. And I muted it in my own Discord.
Yeah, so it has to be done through your own channels. Now, that's how. So you saying you have Instagram, use Instagram to funnel people towards your Twitch stream. Make a short clip before you're going live. Put it out to your followers on Instagram. Do the same on Twitter. Tell them that you're live. Show them where it's coming from. Instagram to me is actually better for promoting your stream because it's so much easier to put videos and such up on it. So you can just literally record a video. You're standing in front of your PC. Hi, I'm going live right now over at such and such, and you put it out. It goes straight out to your followers. But ultimately, this is where social media comes into to Twitch streaming. Or to streaming in general. It is used as the way of getting yourself out there because, as we've discussed, and I don't want to go into it right now, but as we've discussed on many occasions, discoverability on Twitch is non-existent. So it's up to you to use the other platforms, Facebook, IG, Twitter, all these other social media platforms to put it out. Should I start my own Discord server then? Yes, starting your own Discord server can help, but be aware that your Discord server is a way of letting your current community know what's going on, of being in touch with your current community and letting them integrate and get to know one another, which strengthens the bonds in your community. But Discord is a tool for just slightly down the line for you just now. Right now, focus on your Instagram, focus on your Twitter, focus, I don't know, maybe use Facebook, focus on that, get the message out, let people know, make up a schedule, post it, you know, for people to see, post up videos when you're going live, post up clips of what you're doing. Right, this is what you're talking about is getting engagement, and that comes from social media.
Sadomi.
Streaming, a community is like a child. If you neglect it, it's gonna die.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Actually, great analogy.
Yeah. So if you don't take care to nourish it, keep it up, like cut the weeds, keep the bad apples out, keep the good apples in, and have a reason. And also, number one thing too is a lot of people don't think about this, but you should have, if I say in 30 seconds, describe to me what you do, you should have that on lock, and then you can use that as a baseline to work everything off of from. Because a lot of broadcasters and a lot of people don't have that 30-second, like, what do I do? Like, if I asked, I'll say 55% of streamers, they look at me like, I play this game, and that's it. And when you do that, that kind of tells me that you don't have a larger vision. You don't really have like a goal or like a focus. And that's not really necessarily a bad thing. That's something you have to kind of work towards. Like, I don't even have it right now, but I'm working towards it. And it's something that, when I was talking to people in the Stream Coach program with Action Guys, that was really the number one point of how to kind of get yourself in a mindset where you know what you're putting out, what your niche is, who is going to be your ideal viewer, and what to do to like get to all that. If you want an example,
I think I kind of have an example of what you're saying. So like every time somebody raids my channel, I kind of have the same spiel. So I always say, hey, everybody coming in, my name is Mr. Pure Instinct, or as a lot of people know me, MPI. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I also make content on YouTube. We play a lot of story-based games here. I drink a lot of coffee, and we talk about mental health. So have fun, hang out, and if you need to talk about anything, feel free to open up to us. We're a very welcoming and like happy community, basically.
Bang.
That's it. It doesn't have to be like... Don't think of it as like when you go into a job interview and they're like, so what are you going to do for this company? It doesn't have to be like this real like crazy speech or spiel. It just has to be like, yo, this is my name. This is what I do. I hope you hang out and this is why you should. It's just a simple, quick little thing.
I would say it's important that it's a simple, quick little thing. If it comes off as something that's over rehearsed, if it comes off as something, then it doesn't feel genuine. Just something that just feels that it's off the cuff is far more likely to get engagement from people.
Yeah. So I think you guys nailed it. I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. There's not like a specific way to like, this is how you get famous on Twitch or this is how you grow. It just takes time. It's a grind. Twitch is way more of a marathon, and I don't even think that like is enough of a stretch to really call. You know what I mean? It's more like Twitch is like a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Lifetime.
Yeah, it's like every hard thing that's super long. That's a weird way of putting it. I know I didn't mean to say it like that.
All right, Michael Scott.
Wow.
Get me off the front.
The Freudian slap there.
I'm getting paid. It's gonna happen. But Twitch is very difficult, and it takes so long to get any sort of traction. And even when you start getting traction, it's not like it builds up faster. It just takes time. It really does. So just keep doing it. If you're passionate about it, that's what's important.
Just as one other thing to add on there, make sure you become involved in communities that are similar to your own, the community that you want to build. It's an art stream you want to do. I don't have much experience with the art community, but from what I've heard, there's a lot of wonderful people in the art community and a very wholesome community, a large wholesome community.
I have a lot
Be
of
involved in that
community that are. You're right. I have a lot of friends in the art community that are like the most welcoming channels I've ever found.
Yeah. So become involved in that and those communities, not as a way to just be saying, hey, I stream also, but become involved in their Discords, post your art in their art channels and stuff like that. Make connections, talk in the Discords, get to know people, because these people are the part of the wider community that you want to be part of, that you want your community to be part of. So make sure that you become known for the right reasons, of course. So make sure you become known, and so out with your social media and stuff, be talking to other people, be involved in their communities. And become known in the Twitch community and the wider Twitch community, because that's an important thing as well. There's a lot of people streaming, but we're all linked through Twitch, and even though there's a lot of people streaming, it's a lot smaller than you would imagine it to be, and so something positive, someone might actually know, oh, you're that person, through such and such, who knows such and such. That's how Twitch works as well. So be involved in the communities that are similar to your own,
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got one more question from a viewer in the chat, and there's more people that want to ask questions. I understand to get going. Some of us have things to do. So as fast as you can, while still obviously being helpful. What the Finch says, how do I get over my anxiety about streaming? I want to start streaming, but I'm just worried about putting myself out there. And obviously, every streamer ever has dealt with this. So we'll start with MPI.
I mean, I don't know that I have like a perfect answer other than you kind of just have to jump in. Mm-hmm. Think of it like, when you're getting into a cold swimming pool, you don't want to like tip your toe in and slowly walk in, because it's going to be worse than if you just jump off the diving board and it all the cold water splashes over you. And I'm not going to say that that's easy. I don't want it to come out as it's easy to do that, because it is difficult to do that for the first time. And if it's something that you really are struggling with and need to work on, maybe just do like almost like a test stream without going live, but record it, if that makes sense. So like, set up your overlay, set up everything in OBS, do a stream just like you would, but record it so that you get used to talking to a camera. And over time, you'll kind of be able to say, all right, well, I'm comfortable talking to the camera now. I'm comfortable playing a game while talking to the camera. I'm going to go live now. But I mean, other than just kind of doing it, it's hard to find any other thing to do it. You know what I mean? Because you'll always find a reason not to do it. It's just like the gym. I'm always going to find a reason I don't want to go to the gym. I'm always going to find a reason not to go.
Yeah.
Right.
This is no different.
As someone that's suffered from anxiety for a very long time, I would say your anxiety, from personal experience, it's making it worse than it will ever be.
100%.
It is making it in your mind way worse than it can ever be. And always remember, you're in control. You're streaming. If you don't feel it, hit the stop button. Just stop. Take yourself. You're now it's done, and now you can take the time to yourself. But bear in mind that in your mind you are building it up to be way worse than it can ever be.
Yep.
Than it can ever be. So bear that in mind. And as MPI said, take the plunge. Take the plunge. Honestly, again, I started streaming because of my anxiety. Twitch, it can be a really crappy place. It has got its crappy corners, but Twitch has brought me out my shell. It has helped me begin to live a life that I didn't even imagine that would be possible. So if you approach it in the right way, this can help with your anxiety. Take it from someone who it absolutely has helped with their anxiety. But again, as in all things in life, the first step is the hardest. Taking that first step into the unknown, off the edge, off the cliff edge, as you can see it, it's always the hard one. But don't worry about it, because honestly, you're going to have a great time.
Hell yeah. So Sadomi, just to fill you in, what the Finch says, how do I get over my anxiety about streaming? I want to start streaming, but I'm just worried about putting myself out there. And as simple of an answer as you can, because we do have to get wrapping up.
I don't know. I'm not going to BS that. I don't know.
That's a place where people go to get their questions answered. I don't know that one.
But I will say, if you're confident about something, generally you do it better. So, and practice makes you confident. Like, I'm confident I could get up and walk and touch that punching bag over there, because I've done it hundreds of times. So same concept, just practice.
There you go. Yeah, I would like everybody nailed it. You just have to do it, and it gets easier for the most part. And if it's something that you really want to do, like it's important to just do it for sure. And it's like ABI said, it's not easy, but I think anything worth doing should be kind of difficult. You know what I mean? You should put yourself out there. You should make yourself uncomfortable. You should change. You should just do something different, and it's really important. And just like I'm sure everybody here has the same feeling and the same story about it. But just like Dogg Gaming, I'm a much happier person because of streaming on Twitch, like 100%. Like I used to be a very shy person. I wouldn't give anybody a chance to really get to know me, just because I felt like they wouldn't like me if they got to know me. So I just kind of shut everybody out. And I'm the complete opposite now. Like I'm very outgoing, very expressive. I really like talking to new people now, and it's all because of Twitch. 100%, it's all because of Twitch. It's really important to build yourself as a person, and I think you should just do it, man. It's tough, but it's worth it. But that's the last question that we have for today, Finch. I hope we were able to answer that for you and help you out, man. If anybody has any other questions, you can either at us on TRUgaming, it's stream_key. You can also join up in the Discord, which I can put in here right now. and I will make sure to add them to the list. Next week we are not going to be live. I have some personal things going on next week that I won't be able to make the show for. So not next week, but the week after, that Monday, 11 a.m. EST, we'll be back to help you guys out with any other streaming questions that you guys have. So with that being said, starting with Dogg Gaming, where can people find you and why should they watch you?
I'm Dogg Gaming. You can find me at Dogg_gaming on Twitch and Dogg Gaming on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And I'm a variety streamer focused on community and having a safe space where people can talk about their mental health issues. So come along, and you might even find out a few Scottish words as well.
Dope. MPI, where can people find you and why should they watch you?
So you can find me on all platforms as Mr. Pure Instinct. Pretty similar to Dogg, really. I'm a variety streamer. We play a lot of story-based games. And right now we're trying out different kinds of streams with all the extra free time I have. So if you want to see me try something and possibly be bad at it, now's a good time to possibly see that. The kind of same thing with Dogg said too, man. We have a safe place on Twitch that you can talk about your mental health if you need to, or just come hang out if you need to escape for a little while. So just come hang out anytime, or find me on social media. I'm pretty much there all the time. So
awesome. Sadomi, where can people find you and why should they watch you?
If you guys don't know, my name is Sadomi, spelled Sadomi, and two things are crashing right now: the economy and the ways of my Animal Crossing island, baby. So come on through. We're going to have some fun.
Whoa. I hate him.
Don't worry, I thought of that in 5 minutes. It was great. Oh,
5 minutes. It took you that long.
Wow, dude. All right. Thank you, Sadomi. Appreciate you, man. Always a lovely co-host. And we love having you guys on as guests, obviously, as well. And I'm Belloc_TV on literally everything. Yeah, and I do mostly FPS games, but I've been trying new things today. I'm actually going to be doing the new Mountain Blade game that just came out. I'll be live in about a half hour, so I'll be playing that pretty soon. Ooh. But thank you guys again for all your questions. Thanks for coming in, hanging out, watching, and chatting with us. We really appreciate you guys, and we really like helping people out with their streams. I mean, we all know that we're obviously not the most successful streamers by any means, but we understand the hurdles that you go through with just starting and, day-to-day struggles with streaming. So we really do like helping people out. So thank you guys again. Don't forget, there's no show next week. It's the following Monday. But thanks again, guys. We really appreciate you guys. Have a great week, and we'll catch you next time. As always, Sadomi.
Blaze up.
There you go. Take it easy, guys.